Got this question, how do I express myself around others? Now, I don't really know what that means, and so I think that you're already bad at that, so at least you're asking questions, but what the fuck do you mean by that? How do I express myself? What the fuck does that mean? Right, well, I'm going to answer it anyway, okay? Now, there's one thing that I want you to know, and we've discussed this before, I just want this to be hammered into your head. These things need to be hammered in your head. If you are having difficulties in social interactions, the first thing that I want you to do is cultivate this practice. I want you first off, when you are walking into any social interaction, start thinking this question. Why am I happy to be in this situation? Because your brain will start focusing on all of those reasons. And the second thing that I want you to focus on this question is, what do I want out of this outcome? So obviously you don't want to be in that outcome and sitting in the corner drinking a little glass by yourself. Everyone here sucks except me. That's why I'm in the corner, because I'm so superior to everyone else. You don't want to be in that mindset. Obviously you want to be having fun. Or you want to be making business connections, whatever, however rat-like you are in life, I don't know. But you want an outcome out of it. And the thing is, if you give your brain an outcome, you are much more likely to reach that outcome because your brain is a goal-achieving mechanism. That is all it is concerned with. And most of the time, you sit there going, oh, should I have pasta for lunch? How depressing is any day when you make pasta for yourself? Anyway, for one, please, or una. And so, you, Lego's at, you, for people go, oh, I don't remember that, where was it from? You, third time in a row, need to get into those two actions, because if you get into those two actions, every social interaction you have, I guarantee you will be better, and you will get better at social interactions, purely because you'll be excited to go into those social interactions. And as a result of that, you will get better, and the bumps will smooth out, and you won't be as awkward and weird. And this is the other thing about those social interactions. If you've ever watched, a lot of people, when they see me in real life, they think, oh, he's so confident on camera. When he's in real life, he kind of just rocks back and forward and shuffles around a lot. And yes, I'm an extremely fidgety person. I have terrible body language. This is why, yes, I agree with those body language books. Obviously, you should be trusting those things, but I never really practiced any of that stuff. I never did any martial arts, hated dancing, so I have terrible body posture. And but when I'm in the social interaction with someone, those things start to even themselves out. Sort of like Slavoj Žižek. You know when he's talking, like, kind of like he's all this game. And but after a while, you just kind of get used to it because you just think, that's that guy. So all of these things of just like, make sure that you smile, stand up straight. Yeah, standing up straight, completely agree with it. All of those things, they do work. But the main point is, what psychology are you taking? Because everything in life, 80% of everything is psychological. That's where the majority of the battle is. And you can walk in there being all hunchbacky and gross, usually like I am, and just because of the fact that I'm sitting there going, actually, I'm liking this situation. What do I like about these people? That person seems all right. Oh yeah, they seem a little bit guarded. And you know what happens as well? You realize that the vast majority of people are really scared, unless they've been in a lot of social situations. Then they start getting into it, and then they get into their stride, and that's their skill in life, right? But most people don't like those situations. They don't like meeting strangers. The human brain is not evolved to go into that phase. Usually when you meet a stranger, the next thing was just like, right? Right? So, in those social interactions, you aren't really wanting to be there. There's some, I don't know, just some, every now and then there are people that just are born that way, but most people don't. And so you are on the same footing as them most of the time. And what happens is, when you are focusing on the other person, you realize that. You notice that they're feeling uncomfortable. And what happens then? This is what else is really great about the human brain, is when they are focusing on someone else and they see that that person is uncomfortable, your usual immediate reaction, unless of course you're a sociopath, is usually to try and make that other person feel comfortable. And that makes you better in the social interaction again. So it's all uphill. It's always about focusing on the other person. How do I make that person feel comfortable in this situation? These are the types of questions that you should be asking in it. Now, when it comes to expressing yourself, this is what I think also happens in social situations. I remember reading this years ago. It was in some social intelligence book, but it was saying that people think that getting into that kind of, jovial state where you're in a party. A lot of people, first off, they take alcohol for it. I would strongly urge you not to get into drugs when you're in a social setting. You should make it a challenge for yourself not to be like that. Not only because it'll benefit you in the rest of your life, but also when you are in that social situation and you are taking those drugs, what happens is it becomes this little shortcut in your mind and it starts making your brain shitty in other areas, right? So you are very witty in that moment because you've kind of freed your mind up. But at what cost? The thing is, you can learn those skills anyway. Anyway, it was saying, but enough about that. They were saying that there is these situations where, that kind of jovial state that we've all been in before, where you're just really enjoying yourself at a party. And, yeah, cool. Oh, that's rad. Rad name. That's so rad. That moment, just the rad state, right? And you're in that rad state. Usually people think that the way that they got there was kind of just like, feeling kind of nervous when they were there. Then they kind of loosened up when they were at the party. Everybody was having fun, so they started having fun as well. The way that you get there is not by being like, okay, it's time to have fun. Just gonna say woo now. Because what happens is you get stifled. Your state is still in that worker mind, I guess, usually if you just came from your office or whatever, like little cubicle slave life that you have, statistic. You go there and you're still in that mindset, so you're still scared when you go to the party. Most people, when they're in parties, they're trying to impress other people. What you should be doing is trying to impress the other people. It's just an instant trait of charismatic people. As soon as you display that trait, people think that you're charismatic. I can't remember who it was, but this really hot babe from the 40s went on a date with two politicians that were running for Prime Minister of Britain. I can't even remember their names. But it's such an old state. You've definitely heard this before. Somebody asked a reporter, because it was just that they were running for election that week, somebody asked that woman, a reporter, what did you think about the two men? And so she said, the first one, I felt like he was the most interesting man on earth. The second one made me feel like I was the most interesting man on earth. And guess who won? The second one. Oh, coincidence? Probably because of the propaganda model. But look, the point is, you are more charismatic if you are interested in other people, right? That's the first point. So when most people are in parties or in social situations, they're trying to be impressive. No one is impressed by that. It comes off as needy. It is needy. It's narcissistic. It's everything that it's basically the exact opposite of being social. Everyone pay attention to me and worship me for nothing. Right? Socially intelligent people try and make the other person feel comfortable. So what is usually happening is when you're in those situations, you will notice this. You will feel it in your brain. If you are doing that, and I really like this as like a guidance mechanism, just a nice little metaphor to tie it up in a package for you, right? If you are in that situation and you are behaving like that, it will feel like you're climbing a mountain because you will be getting resistance from the other people going, yeah, that's okay, right? But then on top of that, because you're struggling, because you're just like, oh no, I'm losing him, better bring out the spinning bow tie. I almost got promoted last year, but I missed out, but I almost, right? That kind of stuff happens. But if you are in that social situation and you are sitting there and just going, oh yeah, really cool, right, mad, and you're not really thinking about what comes out of your mouth. This is the other thing. Yes, okay, when you're doing stand-up comedy, you should be saying everything that you're saying should be leading to a joke and should be funny. But when you are in a party situation and people are just trying to make everything sound exciting and fun, whoa, it comes off as really irritating because nobody is that good off the cuff. Maybe Hamish Blake, maybe. But even then, I've seen them in action off air. They're kind of just normal like this, and then they're just kind of just talking for a long time, and then they just get into this state of going, yeah? So you see, you get into that state of being really impressive off the cuff by just going there and not thinking about what you're saying, just saying stuff, just knowing that the first 20 minutes is just going to be this, loosening the mouth, making ideas kind of free associate in your mind and swell around. You're just getting into state. So people think that you get into state by climbing a mountain, right? Reality, it's kind of just like sliding down a mud slope. It's just going there, whatever feeling you've got at the time. Say you just got off work, you're just sitting there going, oh, what's your name? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, mad, awesome. What you are doing is trying to get into state, and the way that you do that is by sliding down. Nothing that you are saying should be impressive. So when you're saying, how do I express myself more? That's how you start off, by just being very honest in your communication. In whatever realm you are at that point. If you are feeling unimpressive, just talk unimpressive. That's a good place to start. Then what happens is your mind starts getting better at being in that situation, realizes, oh yeah, this is the party situation. Usually people try and walk into the party situation and go, ah, oh no, I feel awkward. Where's the drugs? Don't do that shit. Anyway, those are my pieces of advice to you. Give me more questions, like the video. Ah, have you heard that before? Bye.